Hey everyone, now I've just been looking through all the comments and questions coming through on the website message board and having a lot of people asking basically for a snapshot of the top 5 tools I'd recommend for people starting off a WordPress website, to do a good and professional looking job and also get the most out of it, make sure it's SEO friendly and has all those sort of business capabilities to go along with it. So I decided to throw this little video together just to sort of sum them up. So first thing I would recommend is a thing called Thesis. Now it's actually a sort of a template you install, but it more works like I guess a framework. Now what this framework does is basically gives your WordPress sort of SEO, optimizes your website, gives it lots of linking with sort of our Google Analytics and Webmaster Tools and things like that. Gives you a nicer interface to edit your website. It also cleans up your code a fair bit behind the website, because some WordPress themes you can get, when you actually look at the source code behind the website, which is the information that sort of Google and other search engines look at, it can be quite messy, and I'm not sure if that's for maybe the developer was just running out of time or they just didn't know any better. But having the messy code can, basically confuse the robot and leave your website getting worse rankings than it really should. So what you want to have is something that sort of makes sure that your website has clean and easy to follow code, so that search engines can easily look through and basically see what exactly what your website is about and rank you accordingly, because you don't want to miss out on those search engine rankings. I'm going to provide links to all the tools that I recommend below, so you can check them out afterwards. But otherwise, I'll just sort of keep running through and I'll actually show you some examples as we go. So moving into a dashboard of a website, you'll see now that I've got Thesis installed. I've actually got this little sort of Thesis button over here. And by going into here, I can sort of edit all the skin and design and header image. I can add in sort of Google Analytics information, Google authorship to link the page with like a Google Plus page. I can add in sort of site verification and change my favicon, which is this little icon up here, and do all sorts of things. It just offers a really great way to sort of manage and look after your website. And the way they use a thing called boxes allows you to sort of make more dynamic content for your website. If you sign up for Thesis, they do have a whole bunch of sort of videos and tutorials on how to use it, so don't be worried there. But what I would really recommend if you are a beginner, if you grab Thesis, you can also grab a theme to put on top of that, which will get rid of a lot of the legwork for you and have you sort of working with a really nice looking, responsive, graphically designed website, in a matter of minutes to say an hour. So some recommendations I have for that: a place called Themedy has a great range of responsive or mobile friendly themes that are actually built for the Thesis platform. And they look really great, so you can sort of click in there, have a look at them, get a demo and all that sort of stuff. And then you can just upload this sort of Thesis template to your website once you've installed Thesis, and then you'll basically instantly have a really nice looking theme that you can sort of simply edit and sort of customize to look like or to better reflect your business. Now I've used quite a lot of theme providers over the years, and I've found these guys to be really good. Their themes just seem to work, and they're easy to install, and there's plenty of documentation and how-tos, and there's a forum for support and that sort of stuff. So I find these guys really good. But if you don't like any of their themes, another provider that I have worked with a fair bit is called WP Thesis Skins. Now, as I said, I'm going to supply links to all these things below. But this one just has basically a larger range of skins. A lot of them sort of customized for different industries. So for example, we've got a fitness skin here. Um, there's a fair few business type ones. And as you can see, they've got quite a good range. Now these guys, I have found from time to time when you install one of their skins, you can it can be a little bit buggy like I've found that, but I have also found that if you contact their support, they'll actually jump into the website for you and they'll fix it all up and tailor it and make sure it works for you. Usually within sort of 24 to 48 hours, so you really can't complain there for the price. The amount of support you get from these guys is really good. So just to reflect, first tool I recommend was Thesis, which is basically a framework that is basically optimizing your website, making it more SEO friendly, and just unlocking quite a few sort of powerful features for your website. You can find out more from them. And I'm going to bundle these two theme resources as the next one tool. And moving on is something called WooCommerce, which is a free shopping cart. It's a very handy plugin because it has it has lots of added features you can get that will plug it into things like OzPost for you, so it does all the calculations on the fly. You can plug it into PayPal and all sorts of stuff. It's really simple to use, but the only downfall of this one is it actually does require you to purchase a Thesis integration plugin if you want to get WooCommerce to work with Thesis. So we'll also provide a link to that for you below. But this is definitely, a plugin that is instantly going to turn your website basically into an e-commerce hub where you can sell whatever you want. The next tool that I recommend is Gravity Forms. I think this is a must for most people. Just allows you to make, contact us forms, get a quote form, any sort of form you want where you can just collect people's details. You can, automate an email response, or the email might get sent to your reception department about the details they've entered. You can do all sorts of things like collect signatures through it. You can select from a range of sort of predefined fields they already have in place, so you can make your own custom fields. It's got conditioning logic or conditional logic, which means, for example, if they tick like yes for question 2, then you might have a question 2b pop up underneath that, which asks them for further details or something like that. So it's really quite intuitive and gives a good experience for your customers as they're sort of filling out forms on your website. I found these really good for example, quote forms or feedback forms or testimonial forms or contact us forms, anything like that, any form on your website. Even like a client sign up form, so if you get a new client, you can send them straight to an automated form on your website where they fill in all their details, and that actually just emails it to you and it's all done nice and typed up. You don't have to worry about sort of getting bits of paper and passing them around and scanning and all that sort of stuff. So last but not least is a plugin called Securi, which basically is just security for your website. It offers antivirus and firewall, and as you may already know, but basically a lot of hackers or virus makers these days, now rather than targeting one machine, so rather than just targeting your PC, they'll actually try and infect a website. And the idea behind that is if they infect the right website, that website could get hundreds to thousands of visitors a week, a month, a day. And by infecting one website, they potentially also infect thousands of others. And you really don't want that, because if your website gets flagged as having malicious software or viruses on it or malware, it can actually get you sort of removed from Google, and people will get rather nasty warnings pop up before they see your site and that sort of stuff. And also it can just kill your website in an instant. If you don't have a backup or the sort of protection in place, you can lose it all. So this is really, I guess, a preventative measure as much as a secure sort of thing. So yeah, they're sort of my top 5 tools I'd recommend to someone starting out and trying to kick off a business using a WordPress website. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask below, and I do have a number of other videos available on other tools I use for different features and functions within WordPress if you'd like to check them out on my channel. Thanks for that and have a good one.